This is the voice of the patriot. Now here we speak truth to power without compromising the truth. This is the headquarters of the truth. And here we don't criticize, but if we must, we would only just do that, just to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Yes. The voice of the people. And the voice of the people is certainly the voice of God. Now today, we have a number of issues to look at, and we go straight up headlong into the issues. Now the very first story I'm reading, this from Ghana Web, and it says Patrick Boama apologizes for NPP's "we never implemented betting tax" claim. And I read it. Now, the Member of Parliament for Okankwe Central, Patrick Boama, has apologized to Ghanaians for the miscommunication caused by the minority caucus's claim that they never implemented or collected a betting tax. Now, the minority caucus, led by the Minister of Karaga and former Minister of Finance, accused the government of misleading the public following the 2025 budget presentation, where it was stated that the betting tax had been abolished. Dr. Amin Adam sought to clarify that the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo led NPP government had never implemented nor collected the tax, questioning how a policy that was never enforced could be abolished. Reacting to the claim in an interview on Lawson TV, which was cited by Ghana Web on X, the lawmaker indicated that the statement made by former Finance Minister Dr. Muhammad Amin Adam resulted from a communication gap. According to him, the former minister will address the miscommunication in his upcoming engagement with the press to clarify the issue. There is an issue, and we will delve into it tomorrow by explaining the position. I don't speak for him, but I believe there was a communication gap, which I hope he will address in his engagement with the press and handle carefully and reasonably. I apologize to the youth for the miscommunication. So in our country, politicians never apologize. They explain. No matter how wrong they are, the ego in them will never allow them to apologize. My brother, my sister, now listen to Patrick Boama, who many said lost the elections. In fact, to the NDC's Baba Sadiq. But for some reason, some confusion came into the whole picture, and at the end of the day, power is probably in wrong hands. Whatever it is, my brother, my sister, I'm not a politician, and I do not deal with party partisanship. Can we go into this? Now, brother here says, oh, there was a communication gap. Fair enough. So what? The minister will come out and explain. Then at the end of the day, he says, but we apologize to the youth. For what? Why don't you apologize to the people of Ghana? Apologize for the unfortunate utterances by your former finance minister. My brother, it's so shameful that Amin Adam, of all people, a former finance minister, did not know that there was a certain kind of tax called the betting tax, and that it was in full operation from 2024. He didn't know. In fact, it was a knee-jerk reaction, a knee-jerk decision to bring him on. They never had the plan to make him the finance minister. But in default, we saw Ken Ofori-Atta kicked out because of his abysmal performance as a finance minister. In the tenure of office of Ken Ofori-Atta, we saw unprofessional haircuts meted out to our pensioners. We saw how so many of them visited early graves. Some of them in unmarked graves as we speak right now. Their souls and spirits and ghosts will keep chasing Ofori-Atta. It will never be well with him until he comes to apologize fervently and passionately to the people of this country. My brother, my sister, we saw a pretending finance minister full of ego who would never step aside for the nation's economy to become better. We saw how his own uncle, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, aided him on his ego trip. When the people of this country were suffocating under the poor, irresponsible leadership of our finance minister pertaining to our economy, and decided to cry out loud, he said the economy was okay. He lied to us that a certain e-levy was going to save us from running to the IMF and the World Bank, knees aground, hands cupped onto each other and begging. My brother, my sister, when e-levy was dramatically passed in Parliament, what happened? A few days later, less than a week, they still went ahead to implement their decision to go to the IMF to ask for how much? 3 billion American dollars. When Data Bank itself was making millions out of the suffering of poor Ghanaians. And such people say they are Christians. They quote the Bible unprovokedly. They will go to hell. My brother, my sister, every pretender, his place is hell. They quote the Bible from Genesis all the way to Revelation. They know everything in the Bible. And if you are an avid reader of the Bible, you will know that Satan knows the Bible a lot. Satan also quoted the Bible. My brother, my sister, right now in Ghana, the easiest way to be able to get over a problem or to get away, my brother, my sister, with your crimes is to quote the Bible. We saw a finance minister who quoted the Bible unprovokedly in Parliament and outside Parliament. He was always wearing white to signify purity, as many people would ignorantly tell you. My brother, my sister, even the NPP MPs petitioned the arrogant Nana Akufo-Addo to get his cousin out of the way because he was performing so abysmally. But the arrogant man refused until it was too obvious that the economy had taken more than just a nosedive. It was sinking like the Titanic. My brother, my sister, the man was still arrogant until the Titanic of an economy sank to the bottom of the ocean. And now they brought on Amin Adam. Amin Adam was brought in there, my brother, to cover up for something. They looked for an ignorant Amin Adam who was so egotistical, in fact, too ambitious to become the finance minister. He didn't look left and he didn't look right. He just jumped into the river with his 2 legs. Remember when Amin Adam was made the finance minister? I was one of the first to say that he didn't take a good decision. But ego, inordinate ambition for power, some people lose their senses. That was what happened to Amin Adam. He didn't cross the T's, neither did he dot the I's. He got straight into power, assuming that, oh wow, I've been elevated. The same way they pushed Bawumia in to cover up for their mess. They sent him on a lying trip. My brother, my sister, the journey of lies. Bawumia descended into the gutters of lies. Today, when you see Bawumia, all you see around him is lies, lies, lies. I wonder how he can redeem himself. Today, his political career is totally buried. I wonder how Bawumia will resurrect again from this death. It's the same thing they have done to Amin Adam. These guys don't portray common sense when they are being asked to do things. He jumped into it. He told himself, oh, finance minister, wow, I'm probably the first guy from the north to become a finance minister. Let me take it up. He didn't look at the mess. That is why he can speak so ignorantly like this. We never implemented any betting tax. And therefore, I do not know why the NDC is saying that this tax has been abolished. My God have mercy. When the youth were on the rampage, asking for this tax to be abolished and be removed. And their argument was that if I lose in my bet, you do not compensate me. But when I win, you want to tax me. I will go into it another time. But that is neither here nor there. I don't support betting in any form. Left to me alone, betting should have the biggest tax in this country. We are turning our youth into gamblers, and the gambling nation will certainly be taken through the vicissitudes of uncertainty. Hallelujah. Yes, the vicissitudes of uncertainty. No nation can be built on uncertainty. We have to scientifically get it right. We must be sure of all the indices. You cannot build a nation on a foundation of uncertainty. It doesn't happen. We are taking our youth on a journey of the vicissitudes of uncertainty, and that is gambling. Every 2 centimeters in Ghana, you find a gambling center. You don't find schools. You do not find pipe-borne water. You find betting centers. In places where cars do not even go, we have betting centers. My brother, my sister, very soon we shall have betting centers on the sea. People would ride boats and ships in order to go gambling on the sea, because we have become a gambling nation. We gamble with our nation. We gamble with our economy. We gamble with our education. We gamble with our leaders. We gamble with everything. That is why this nation is taking on the vicissitudes of uncertainty. And that will continue until we bring common sense to the bargaining table. This is supposed to be a finance minister. So you can easily tell that he was not his own man. He was being puppeted the same way the puppet Baumia was taken through the journey of lies. It hurts me that my own people allow themselves to be puppeted like this. My brother, my sister, now Patrick Boedu has come out like an angel to say, oh, forgive my ignorant finance minister. In fact, he was not his own man. He was actually being puppeted by the same demon of the economy that we kicked out, Kenoforiata. Forgive his ignorance. This is a man who holds a PhD. A man who is supposed to be sharp and astute when it comes to such basics like this. But he's embarrassed himself. Same way Baumia embarrassed himself on that journey of lies. How can they redeem themselves? To you, Amin Adam, shame on you. You have disgraced yourself, disgraced your party, and you have made everybody understand that you are nothing but a puppet. Deal with it. Yabo! Yabo! Now the next thing I want to look at, my brother, my sister, is deep. Hey, I'm going through the news and I'm baffled. In fact, I am befuddled. I am hypnotized. In fact, right now I am in a state of cacophony. Can I go deeper? Watch this story here. Hey! Okay, I'm reading this from Ghana Web. And it says, I gave Mahama 100,000 Ghana cedis for my sweat. NDC member cries out over appointment neglect. A member of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC Youth Committee, Bernard Odrotechi, popularly known as BOT, has called on President John Dramani Mahama to recognize and honor those who work tirelessly for the party's success. According to him, many dedicated individuals who made significant contributions to the party's victory have been neglected in President Mahama's recent appointments. He warned that if the president fails to acknowledge such efforts, especially his own, the NDC could suffer setbacks ahead of the 2028 elections. Speaking in an interview on Class FM on March 7, 2025, he stated, I want the NDC to succeed. Do you know why? I played a phenomenal role. Personally, I worked in 16 orphan constituencies, and 14 out of the 16 were won. I want to go back in 2028 to help us win even more. President Mahama himself, I donated 100,000 Ghana cedis in cash to him. Out of the 16 regions, I distributed 10,500 t-shirts each. And not only that, I visited most of them more than 5 to 6 times, and the results are showing. BOT emphasized that his contributions were self-funded and not financed by the party. You see, we reggae people are so sharp and smart and wise, but the society doesn't see us as such. Because of a small spliff, some of us blaze. My brother, you see people like this, they are the nation wreckers. These are the people with no common sense. They think that money is equivalent to brains, like Kennedy Agyapong. They think money is equivalent to common sense. Once you have money, naturally you have common sense. Once you have money, then you have common sense. These guys, I donated 100,000 to the president, John Dramani Mahama, and I donated also 10,500 t-shirts to 6 constituencies. I even went there 5 times or 6 times before, and the results are yet to show. He has not given me any appointment. Is your money synonymous with your common sense? Is it synonymous with your ability? People like this should never be allowed to donate anything to anybody. They are not donating. They are investing into a certain ridiculous, illegal, nonsensical project. People like this, their common sense is smaller than the amoeba. You know what amoeba is? Listen, I can tell you on authority. President Mahama has called so many different people to appoint them. And some of them returned to him. You know what they said? Mr. President, where you are putting me there, you know there's nothing there. Oh, Mr. President, baby, I wouldn't even call it there. So she knew. Well, Mr. President, you know, my brother, Mr. President is here to leave a legacy. Mr. President is here in his 3rd attempt of being president. Why do I use the word attempt? Because a president is not just a man who wins an election and sits on the throne. It's a man who deservingly, my brother, my sister, achieves all the accolades of a president. A president is supposed to be an achiever. My brother, my sister, he wants to be a true leader. His first tenure of office, my brother, my sister, we all saw that he had to complete the tenure of office of his political mentor, John Evans Atta Mills. Then he came back again, won the elections. My brother, my sister, I'm sure he still had people around who were puppeting him and trying to tell him, party here, party this, party says this, party says that. But in this one, he campaigned right from opposition, went straight up to winning single-handedly. So he's supposed to be a man of his own without all the other guys puppeting him or trying to influence him. Mr. Mahama, this is your opportunity to rewrite the political history of this country. You were president and went back into opposition. You have been successfully able to return to the presidency after 8 years. If you don't leave a legacy, what else can you leave? People like this are comedians. They are a disgrace to every society. When you brought the money to Mahama, did you tell him that you were giving it to him so you would get an appointment? I thought you were giving it to him so that they would use the money to be able to campaign, at least finance their campaign and make Ghanaians happy. No, these are the people who wreck the nation. These are the people who make politicians corrupt. These are the people, my brother, my sister, who look down on democracy. I'm glad he didn't get any appointment. If appointments were for sale, I'm not sure people like this would even get near those appointments. Thanks so much to President John Dramani Mahama for not recognizing guys like this. They are only a disgrace to the political system. That notwithstanding, my brother, my sister, this seems to be the norm in politics. I have supported you to win an election. It is your turn to honor me. I've heard so-called men of God who have told the president, I worked so hard for you, I prayed for you, I did this for you, I went to all the regions of Ghana sacrificing and praying for you to be president. You have become president and then you have not honored me. 2 months in power. 2 months in power. You've already concluded that the president has not honored you. Instead of thinking Ghana first, they are thinking themselves. Such idiots. I met with the president about a week ago. And when I approached him and he shook my hands, the first thing I told him, Mr. President, I'm not here for an appointment. I don't want any appointment from you. I only want Ghana to become better. Please do everything in your power to make Ghana a better place. I told him. Whilst my colleagues were busily running after him for all that, the appointments and all that, I told him, I am not here for any appointment. I've made it clear. Those who thought we were pretending, you have a long journey to go. When you see a pretender, please recognize them from afar. We are beyond pretense. We are anointed to come and teach and preach and be mentors to many. What would a political appointment do for me? Not interested. All I am interested in is to see Ghanaians get better. If I am asked to come on a certain journey to help build it, I can build it without taking appointments. I don't need that. But these guys are crying. They have given 100,000. What is 100,000? That is somebody's money for cocoa and kose. You have given 100,000. Somebody in the Volta region, whose name I don't want to mention, gave 5 million Ghana cedis. He didn't cry for an appointment. You gave chicken change, 100,000. You want an appointment because you gave 100,000. Such an idiot. Now the next thing I want to look at, I'm running out of time. Let me be quick with this. It's also from Ghana Web, and it says, false prophets have surrounded President Mahama with darkness. NDC prophet claims, and I read, now a prophet who appeared in a viral video ahead of the 2024 general elections, leading some executives of the NDC in taking an oath while holding a sword. Prophet Nana Agyapong has claimed that some fake prophets have surrounded President Mahama with darkness. Speaking in an interview with NIT FM, the leader of PNOA Ministries warned that the presence of these fake men of God around the president would have the dire consequences if they were not immediately withdrawn. NDC should be very careful. They have allowed some pastors to surround the president, and these men of God have engulfed him in darkness. If they don't take action and some of us fold our hands, sit on the floor naked and speak to the heavens, what will happen in the party would be beyond human understanding. I am going to be very careful when I'm talking about this issue because the prophet here is a man I know personally. He's a kind man of God. I remember last year when I was traveling to the United States of America, he offered to buy me some tickets even though it didn't manifest for no reason or for no fault of his, right? It wasn't any fault of his. Prophet Agyapong Prempeh is a man that I love. When I was traveling to the US and I made it known to him that I was just going for a few days and back, with my family to show them what the snow looks like. Because my children keep coming to me, asking me, snow, snow, snow. I said, okay, don't worry, man. I'll take you to one of these countries where we have snow. And there was an opportunity for me to take them to the United States for a few days. Many were those who said, oh, let them stay. We don't do that. I took them to the United States. A few days later, we returned, all of us. My brother, watch this. Prophet Nana Agyapong offered to buy all my tickets. It didn't happen. And I said, for no fault of his. It wasn't his fault. Was it my fault? Maybe yes. Maybe I didn't go for the money. Maybe I decided that, oh, I can afford. Let me just go and buy it. Later, I'll see him and say thank you. I won't go into the details. But just to tell you that this is a man of God who is very charitable. You understand? I've been to his church services twice, thrice. He's a man of God. But I am truly disappointed in this. How can you call some men of God fake and call yourself genuine in the face of the president endorsing men of God? If you think there are some fake men of God around the president, just make it known. But do not already judge them as fake and judge yourself as genuine. Listen to what Prophet Agyapong said. If people like him are not allowed around the president to sit down on the ground and pray to God and open the heavens for the presidency to work, these fake men of God will bring down the presidency. It's a threat. And for me, I think it's childish. My brother, my sister, Prophet Nana Agyapong is a beautiful man of God. I love him. But my brother, 2 months in power and already, and the president is not allowing this person, the president is allowing that person, the president has allowed that person and that person. No! Why are we giving too much pressure to the president? Fake men of God, yes, there are a lot of fake men of God. What you can say is that there are fake men of God around the presidency. The presidency should open eyes and watch. Don't go ahead to say, I am genuine, and if you don't allow me around the president to sit down naked and bring down the heavens on the presidency, there would be darkness and no, this is arrogance. How many people agree with me? It's arrogance. It's arrogance. In fact, Nana Agyapong is not the only man of God I have heard make such utterances. I've heard other men of God who said, I have suffered for the president. He has become president. He has not honored me. Why are you in a rush? 2 months. Nana was in power for 8 solid months. The prophet he pulled around him became a thief, stealing from the cathedral funds. He had 2 different names, 2 different mothers, 2 different dates of birth. Such a criminal thief. My brother, my sister, even him, you have not considered as fake. He's still anointed. He's still honored in high places. My brother, my sister, all I can tell the president right now is good to be spiritual, but please don't depend on men. Depend on God. There was God before men. I know you want to be able to uphold spirituality, but if you follow men rather than depending on the God who made you president, you will fail. To all these of men of God who were clamoring around the president, giving him prophecies that they know is nothing but lies, please, Mr. President, stay away from them. Look deep into your spirit. See who the Spirit of God is directing you to, and you can consult them once in a while. We didn't vote for prophets. We voted for you. So however you are going to fix the economy and deal with the people of Ghana depends on you. But again, as believers in God, we admonish you to look at God rather than men, or else these same men will lead you astray. To God be the glory. Now the last thing I want to look at, and I'll be done. My producer says we should be quick with this. Now there was a viral video in which we saw a man approaching Sticker, my 2-year senior at the T.A. Ahmadiya Secondary School, Kumasi, and telling him a lot of things. Now I'm reading this from Ghana Web, and it says, I asked the police to arrest him. Inshaisu MP breaks silence on social activist Raf's arrest. And I read, okay, so it reads, I asked the police to arrest him. And I read, the member of parliament for Inshaisu, Dr. Stephen Amwa, has confirmed that he caused the arrest of social activist Raf St. Williams after feeling assaulted by him. This follows the activist confrontation with the MP at the forecourt of the parliament ahead of the 2025 budget presentation on March 11, 2025. A video shared on social media captures the social activist accosting the MP as he made his way to the parliament. Raf, who appeared to be doing a live video on the social media platform, followed the MP and provided commentary about him, criticizing the lawmaker for failing to develop his constituency. This is the MP whose constituency I visited. The streets in his area are bad. The lights on the Sofo line interchange are off. He has lived in this country for the past 8 years. MP, keep your mouth shut in parliament and allow the new finance minister to present what he has for Ghanaians. When he is done, your comments on his presentation should carry wisdom and should not be ones that sabotage the country. We are looking forward to having wise people in parliament and not just politicians. So we hope you guys keep your mouths shut today. Dr. Stephen Amwa, who had kept quiet all this while, at a point could no longer tolerate the criticism from the social activists. He reacted by asking a police officer at the entrance of the parliament to intervene. It's okay. You have said enough. Boss, he's attacking me. I beg, can you tell him to stop? Do you see what he is doing? At this point, the social activist stepped back, distancing himself from the MP. However, the former Deputy Minister of Finance later had him arrested and explained why. Actually, I asked the police to arrest him because I felt assaulted. When we talk about assault, it means when one feels threatened and there is evidence of eminent physical contact, and everybody saw what he was doing to me in the morning. Yet I composed myself very well. He continued in the afternoon, and I even availed myself for any interview, but I realized it wasn't an interview he wanted. So I felt that somebody was inducing him to do something bad to me. That is why I spoke to the police for him to be arrested. The marshal just called through his phone, which surprised me. He called and spoke to me, saying that he wanted to handle the matter in parliament. I said that if the activist demonstrates remorse and apologizes, which he did, then the issue could be addressed. So the police said that since the matter had come this far, they had already taken my statement and needed to take his statement too. If we have to withdraw the case and resolve the issue with the marshal, then we can do that. Watch me. Now, my brother, this is what we call power play. Show of power. This is an MP. He's supposed to represent the people. The man came over to you, and these were his words, as captured. What in these words represent assault? Verbal and physical. He said he was at your constituency, and that the lies are not working. The road is bad. And for that matter, when you were in power, you did absolutely nothing. When you go into the Parliament House, shut up, because you have failed. Let the finance minister speak. When he finishes, make wise comments. We want patriots and not politicians. That was what he said. He asked the activists to be arrested. Which part of the Constitution gives a man the right to ask the police to arrest somebody? You can only report to the police, and the police will decide what to do, whether to arrest or to caution or to do whatever. You cannot tell a policeman and order him to arrest, as is being reported here. But that is power play, my brother. So you see the kind of people you have voted into the Parliament House. Wisdom has been thrown to the dogs. It's now power play and buffoonery. It's sad. Yes, I might not agree with one or two things that happened, but my brother, it is good for us to approach all these MPs. Remember, they represent constituents in constituencies. Therefore, anywhere we meet them, we can approach them and speak to them, as long as we do not intend to visit them with bodily harm. Imagine this man was coming to ask for votes in the constituency. You think he would have asked for this man to be arrested? No way. He will take his time and explain things to this man. Now he has the power and he feels threatened by his own constituents. That is how politicians behave. They are never threatened. They never feel threatened when they are coming to you for votes. They begin to even be threatened by birds that fly in the air around them once they have power. How many people agree with me? When politicians are looking for power, there's nothing that can be called a threat around them. They are ready to come and pound your fufu. They are ready to fry kose and bofruit. They are ready, my brother, my sister, to stir your banku for you, cook your soup for you. But when they win power, they don't even know how to set fire, to cook water. All the knowledge vanishes. They are ready to braid women's hair in order to win elections. The moment they win it, what happens? When you are even coming for a handshake, you are a threat to them. Stick up, bow down your head in shame. It's very, very terrible for an MP to behave like this. You are supposed to be a constituency person. You must tolerate people. Look at what you've done. Even Apia Stadium, who was harassing the president on his way to his car. The president didn't ask for him to be arrested. Did he do that? Let us learn to be humble in the face of power.
Yabo!